Hi everybody, in this video we're going to be discussing how to do an SIC request on the MyAflac website. To start, go to the MyAflac website, log on using your username and password. Once you log on, you would go to your toolbox over on the right hand side and choose SIC Express. This will open a new tab inside of your browser, which will allow you to do two things. You can either check the status of an already inserted SIC request, or you can file a new request form. The point of this video is to show you how to file for a new request form. What an SIC stands for is Standard Industry Code, and what it does is it gives us back a rating of A, B, C, D, or E, which allows us to figure out what products and at what rate we can offer to each company. An SIC request should be done as soon as an appointment is scheduled, actually before the appointment is run. That way you're prepared with the proper rates and products that are available to offer to that company when you run the appointment. To start, you would click on New Request Form. One of the biggest questions that associates have is that I don't have all this information about the account. How can I fill this all in? What I want to do is walk you through some of the common ones. First and foremost, the only thing you have to fill in on this form are things that are in blue. You can see the things such as fax number that's in black. You don't need to fill that in. It'll default to have your own information in there. First step would be to choose the account type. Is this going to be an EDB account or a payroll account? The majority of the time this will be a payroll account. Next, you would type in the company name. You would type in the company address, city, state, and zip. And then the phone number. If for some reason you don't have this, do some research on the account so that you have the phone number and everything else needed. Notice where it says tax ID. It's not in blue, therefore you don't need to put it in order to do an SIC request. Number of employees, you should have this from when you ran your prospecting list, and it would give you the total number of employees that were in there. It is a safe assumption that most of the employees will be W-2 employees. So if the company has 10 employees on your prospecting list that you ran, please put in there 10 employees. If they have 1099s that we can add down the line, we can adjust this number after them. You can see it does the math for you to where you have 10. And then the account number, we don't have that because once we open the business, will they establish an account number. The next step is years in business. Again, if you go on and you run a lead sheet, you can choose years in business as one of the ways that you see their information, or you can simply do some research on the account via Google and find out what year they went incorporated. Let's say ABC Lumber has been in business 15 years. You can see the rest of this website, projected enrollment. Does it have more than 5,000 employees? All of that is not in blue, so we don't technically have to fill that in. However, if you do have a company's website, it's a good idea to toss it in there because it would allow the SIC team to do a faster rating for you. Then you have your questions. Number 1, does the company have any other locations, affiliates, or subsidiaries being considered for Aflac one Aflac billing? 99% of the time, the answer to this is going to be no. Do the other locations, affiliates, or subsidiaries use the same tax ID number? Not applicable. You can see it defaulted to no for you. Question 4, has the company name, address, or telephone number changed in the last year? Again, via your research, you should be able to know that this answer is no, based on their website. If it had changed, just put in their previous information there. The next step is the one that tends to confuse people the most, and that is which business description should I use? There's obviously a lot here. So what we've done is on the website where you're watching this video, just to the right, you'll see a document that's saved and called Business Description Details. And what that is a PDF you can open up, and it'll have the full explanations of each one of these business descriptions here that you can choose from. So the quick way that I do to make sure that I'm filing it under the right business description is I open the PDF document, and on my computer I will hit the Control F function. And what that does is it allows me to search. Control F stands for basically Control Find. And what it's going to do is it's going to search this entire document for whatever words you type in here. So if I type in lumber, you can see there's 10 lumbers in this entire document. And if I click on this down arrow, it's going to take me to where this next one is. Building materials, lawn and garden supplies, hardware retail, included but not limiting to the resale of lumber. Well, ABC Lumber is a lumber store, so this is the right business description I would choose. Now I can go back to my SIC request, make sure that I'm choosing building materials, garden supplies, and hardware retail. That allows me to have the confidence that I've chosen the right business description. The next question, is this company contracted with an existing Aflac PEO, staffing, leasing, or temporary payroll account? Again, normally this is a no, especially if this is a small account that you're working with on an individual basis. You would choose yes that you agree that the information you've put in is correct to the best of your knowledge, and then you would click on the Submit button. Once you click on the Submit button, you will see that it pops up if there's any questions you need to answer right away, and it also lets you know that you've submitted your request for ABC Lumber. If you go back to the home page, now you can go into Status Search, and you can search with a begin date, or you can just click Submit and it'll pull up all that you've ever done, and it'll pull up the most recent first, ABC Lumber. You can select for the detail, and it'll tell you where it's at in the process or the details of what that account is. I hope this helps when doing your SIC request and being properly prepared to run your appointments.